Where am I? I need that. Good morning, guys. It is super early. It's like 5 in the morning. Been up for 2 hours, so got like 3 hours sleep last night. So excuse me if I'm talking like I've got scrambled eggs for brains. Leaving Iran today, like I told you in the last video, and heading to, drumroll please, Iraq. So going to be spending a bit of time in Iraq, guys. I'll explain more about where and how and why on the journey. But if you know geography of this area, Iraq is actually extremely close, especially the part I'm going to, from here in Tehran. But sadly, there's no direct flight, so I have to go all the way to Istanbul, which is very far, and come all the way back to Erbil. So I'm basically flying 6 times the distance than the destination I'm going to. Anyway, let's fly today and discover a new country. Should be exciting to blow some preconceived ideas of this country, especially because it's brutal history and all that kind of stuff. So let's do this. Hi, sir. Merci. Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Thanks. So when I was going through security in Tehran, the customs guy was like, he's like, where are you going today, sir? I was like, I'm going to Erbil in Iraq. And he was like, really, why are you going there? It's dangerous. There's ISIS there. I don't know about you guys, but that's the first thing I want to hear at like 5:30 in the morning, that I'm going to an ISIS-infested country. I was like, no, I think they've eradicated a lot of that, especially in the area I'm going, because it's actually like a different region, but we'll get into that later in the video. Anyway, so that was kind of a nice start to the day. So I'm in Istanbul airport right now anyway, just heading to the gate for the connecting flight. But yeah, I just want to say, like, this isn't like a blind optimism trip. I have done research and I do know like people there, and I've talked to locals. Some of them I'm going to be meeting, because I don't want to promote like reckless travel or anything, but so I'll explain more of that soon. There were cool mountains flying in, but you know, this was in an aisle seat. I couldn't get them on film, but now I have a window seat, so I'm going to film the mountains and we will go to Iraq. Guys, made it to Iraq. Can you believe those landscapes? I was not expecting it to be so green and those amazing mountains. We will be going up into those mountains in a few days' time. Excited for that. In a taxi now with my friend Shrut. Hey. And he's a legend. And just heading to the hotel. Super tired because I've been running on like 3 hours sleep. But it's really hot here. People are kind. It's a really modern city actually, really developed, brand new airport. The visa system is so easy, one of the easiest visa systems that I've seen, and the airport was very well designed and lots of room for passengers, so you just went straight through. Anyway, when I get my thoughts together, I'll talk to you at the hotel, but I'll try and get some shots of around on the way so you can have a look. Yeah, I have a question. Is this a hotel or a conference room? Guys, you have to see this place. Hands down, one of the most bizarre hotel rooms I have ever seen in my whole life. It's like on the very end of the hotel building. It's this big semicircle shape with a big ensuite. I'll show it to you in 1 second, but I just want to explain to you about where I am and is it Iraq or isn't it Iraq? Well, technically it is Iraq, but many people would beg to differ if it really is ethically Iraq, if that makes any sense. It's an autonomous region in the northeast of Iraq, bordering with Iran, Turkey, and Syria, whereas it does use the same currency as Iraq. It basically has a different ruling, different government, different military, and different people as well. They're not Arab people here, they are Kurdish people. Different language, many important distinctions to make clear here. So that's why when I came to the hotel, my friend that works downstairs in the reception, he's called Danny, and that's why he said to me when I arrived, "Welcome to Kurdistan."
You're welcome to Kurdistan.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because they don't really want to be kind of associated with Iraq because they consider themselves their own country. So Kurdistan spans across Syria, Turkey, Iran, and Iraq, and a little parts of some other surrounding countries, but they're the main ones. In these areas altogether, there's 15 to 20 million Kurds. And in the Iraq portion of Kurdistan, there are about 4 million people living. And they really want to, you know, break away from Iraq and kind of have their own country. They have had referendums in the past, but sadly for them, it didn't work out. But I think they're always pushing to try and, you know, realize that dream of one day being liberated and having somewhere that they can call their own. So we're gonna go out onto the street soon and go for a walk around and have a look. But first, guys, you have got to see how outrageous this hotel room is. So here is the room, guys. Look at this. I don't know if you can get the scale of like how much space I have here. I have a conference room. I have a bedroom, wardrobe, and then 180-degree panorama view of the city. Desk, office, living room, nice bathroom here. So much space. You cannot imagine how much space I have. It's a bit rough around the edges, a little bit of dust here and there, but it'll do the job. I think it costs maybe like 30 or so USD. For the amount of space, I think it's a good deal. I think this country is, well, probably obviously more expensive than Iran. But yeah, this room will do me fine. Here for a few nights, and yeah, I'll explain the rest of that later. Right now, we should go for a walk. Maybe I'll have some mates over later to join me in my conference room. Anyway, let's go explore Erbil, the capital of Iraqi Kurdistan. So as you can see, this place is a lot more developed than one would, you know, have preconceived ideas of. Especially when driving from the airport to my hotel. Just so much new developments, modern buildings. As you can see, there's a lot of like quite expensive cars. I've seen like heaps of new Range Rovers and Mercedes. Yeah, really interesting, you know. Preconceived ideas always get broken. I'm just going for a little walk up the streets around my hotel. Lots of like nice little restaurants and things. Yeah, the locals are really friendly as well. It's a lot more open, I think, society than Iran, for example, because, you know, the girls don't have to wear the hijab, I don't think, and at the hotel they didn't hold on to my passport or anything like that. They gave it back straight away after getting a coffee. Just little things like that. You can use an ATM to withdraw money. They take credit cards because there's no sanctions here. These little things that you take for granted make life so much easier, you know? So that's really cool though, because, you know, going to Iran and seeing all these things, it makes you appreciate these tools, you know, like booking.com and ATMs and just these normal things like credit cards that you take for granted on an everyday basis. When you get them taken away, you really realize how valuable it is. But it is still quite nice not having them, you know, in a way. It's kind of like a form of clarity in a way. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, we'll keep walking. It looks like there's a nice minaret over here. Getting my mind blown here, guys, seriously. What's your name?
Rezan.
Rezan, Nick.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
You?
Nick.
Nick.
I'm Nick, yeah.
Thank you.
Beans? Beans?
ما بتعرف تحكي؟ هلا. هولندا؟
New Zealand.
نيوزيلندا.
Yeah, New Zealander. Yeah.
English?
Yeah, I speak English. Yeah.
هو you speak Arabic.
Really? No Kurdish?
لا كردش لا.
Huh?
Arabic.
Really? Okay. Oh well.
Do you speak Turkish?
No. Sorry.
بتعرف انجليزي؟ نعرف
Kurdish,
ولا؟
Turkish, Arabic.
Shukran. Salam alaikum. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Bye. So you can kind of feel the atmosphere here. It's really nice and chill. I've met a few locals. I managed to catch some of that conversation there, but not all. And then I just met a guy who spoke English as well. But today I'm pretty knackered, extremely tired after 3 hours sleep, so I'm not filming every interaction. But you know, we've got a few more days here to do that. But yeah, nice to just go out for a little walk, get a feel for it. And people are super welcoming, and it's really nice. And I know more Arabic than I know Persian, so you can use Arabic here and people understand, so it's super helpful. Alright guys, coming to you from the conference room. So, as you can see, this city is a very interesting fusion. You get this very modern, developed feel in some areas, like you see Range Rovers and Mustangs, and then it's mixed in with like the street food, and you saw those little boys shining shoes. Got this nice little fusion going on, so definitely tomorrow I'm excited to go and explore, and that's the plan, meeting up with a local tomorrow. It's going to show me the city, and then the day after that I think I'm going exploring out of the city into, you know, some villages and into the nature, and just get a general feel of this whole area here in Iraqi Kurdistan. So did meet quite a few locals out in the streets. Everybody's super keen to hang out and have a chat. Lights just came back on. There's lots of power cuts here actually. This is like the 10th one so far that I've met whilst I've been in the room. If you're wondering why I flew here when Iran is right there, and I flew like literally 6 times the distance or more than I needed to, is because you can't cross by land to get a visa on arrival. You have to fly to the airport here. You cannot go by land, and there's no direct flights. So when a lot of people think about Iraq, then they think ISIS automatically. So I should really cover that, because I know in the comment section that people are gonna have a field day talking about that. They'd never actually made it to where I am now. They made it about 80 kilometers in a city called Mosul, so 80 kilometers away. But now it's pretty much eradicated in this area, and it never made it to Erbil. It's a really safe city here from the research I've done and the people I've talked to. So I'm feeling quite confident about that, even though that comment from the guy this morning in Tehran, the Iranian, but you know, that's always the same in countries all around the world. Countries always think their neighboring countries is so much more dangerous than their own. I mean, it's just natural. It happens back and forth. It happens with my country. It happens in Europe. It's a worldwide thing. The visa system, guys, was so good. Visa on arrival for 30 days for a list of countries. Luckily, New Zealand is in one of those lists. It's not all countries. It's a list, so you can have a look on the Iraqi visa policy page to see if your country is on there. Otherwise, you have to apply for a visa. But luckily for me, that I could come visit with no real problems. Customs guys were super nice, pretty much just stamped the passport straight away and let me in. I'm gonna finish the video there. So yeah, Iraq, right? Well, it's not Iraq, right? Kurdistan, Iraqi Kurdistan at least. Good to be here. Iran was an incredible trip. You know, it's quite sad to leave, but then you get the new country feels, you know, so it's bittersweet. Anyway, I need to Parker. Oh, it's on again. Okay, I need to sleep. Completely lost my mind. You can probably tell that I look absolutely fried. So I'm going to sleep. One more thing, there's 2 more videos to come of Iran. I'm going to make a how expensive is video and talk about the prices and break down the currency. Also, I'm going to make a video about safety in Iran. They'll be coming soon, but for now, we're in Iraq. So in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Conference adjourned.